The bug.
Okay.
Thank you. Honey, thank God for technologies, because this filter is filtering. Yes, ma'am. I'll take it, honey. Welcome, divas. Come on in, get comfortable. We have a lot. We got a lot to cover in a short period of time. Welcome, 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 beautiful divas. This is Shay, your love diva, master certified love strategist, voted top 5 love coach in the entire world. If you are looking to up-level your love life with a formula based in science, then ma'am, you are in the right place. So come sit down, get comfortable, get your tea and your lipstick on. Thank you. Come get your lipstick on so that we can figure out how can we help you to attract your romantic best friend in time for the holidays. That's Thanksgiving and Christmas. How can we get you there? If you want to figure that out, then come and sit down so that you can learn things here that you have never ever learned or heard before. So welcome, welcome, welcome. As you're coming in, please share your name, where you're from, and a heart emoji so that I can love on you, so that I can welcome you. Hi, Ashley. Is it Ashley? Ashley? Child. Hold on. Hold on, let me get these glasses on. As you're coming in, please leave your name, where you're from, and a heart emoji. If you have already been in the Diva Hood, you already know what to do. Leave your name and a lipstick emoji so I can welcome you back. I'm so glad you're here. I see Palmy from Atlanta. Welcome, Erica from Chicago. Raquel from Wyoming. Ooh, I done dropped on the fun side of TikTok. I can already see. Rose from Orlando. Yes, ma'am. We got a lively bunch today. Yes, ma'am. You talk to me, I will talk back. Is it Ashley Miller from Columbus, Ohio? Oh, your mom was trying to be different? I love it. It's unique. I like it. Angie from Washington, welcome. Karen from San Diego. Where's Facebook? Where's Facebook?
Model phones.
Okay. We need to definitely get Facebook, because Facebook be crunk. Okay. So can we get Facebook? Let's make sure we get Facebook here. I think I have another phone upstairs. I know I have another phone somewhere, but we definitely got to get Facebook. Angie from Washington, Karen from San Diego, Margaret from Chicago. Oh, we in Chicago. We are in Pittsburgh. Yes, ma'am. If you have never, ever heard of me before, my name is Shay, your love diva. I am a master certified love strategist. I've been voted one of the top 5 love coaches in the entire world. However, baby, you're looking at the pioneer of love coaching. I am the best in the industry when it comes to helping women to be able to attract love. I did a dating experiment where I went on 100 dates in a little over 3 months and interviewed over 4,000, well, it's 5,000 at this point, men, women, and couples, and read hundreds of love, dating, and relationship books. I studied the science and the anthropology of attraction, and then I went on to create a formula, okay? So then you're actually looking at the pioneer, and I'm getting ready to give you techniques so that you can be able to guarantee that you will attract your soulmate in time for the holidays. So come in, get comfortable. I want to love up on you. Make sure you leave your name, where you're from, and a heart emoji. If this is your first time ever seeing me live, leave your name, where you're from, and a heart emoji so I know and I can love on you. If you're returning, leave your name and a lipstick emoji. I see you, Germany. Leave your name and a lipstick emoji so that I can welcome you back into the Diva Hood. I'm going to be doing some giveaways. I got some gifts for you. And by the end of the live, for those of you who stick around for the live, I have something special for you. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. Let me see. Heidi, hey baby, welcome back. Cheryl from New York, welcome, honey bunches. Rachel, welcome back, babes. Glad you're here. Instagram, talk to me, okay? Talk to me, Instagram. We're going to need to work it out. So from the last time that I spoke with you guys last week, we went through we was talking about the 6 phases of a relationship. And we was talking about what women do, the mistakes women often make that keep them single, and how when you understand the science of attraction, then you're able to avoid making those kind of mistakes, and you can give yourself an advantage that will literally set you up to guarantee that you will meet your romantic best friend. And we got all the way up into the pull away phase, and we didn't really get to finish it. So today I want to make sure I finish it. I also want to be able to talk to you about the science, y'all. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing as women collectively that is causing us to be spiritually tied to a man? That's called a soul tie. But not only creating soul ties with a man, we are creating biochemical addictions in our body due to the people that we're choosing to sleep with and not understanding what it is that I'm getting ready to teach you today. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to get all into it, okay? And I'm going to say this up front. This is a no judgment zone. That's first thing. The second thing is, I highly recommend that if you don't have paper and a pen, go get it, okay? Because I promise you, I'm gonna say something that you never heard before, and you're gonna wish you would have wrote it down, and I'm not gonna say it again. That's first thing. The second thing is that I'm a master certified love strategist. That's the highest level of love coaching. I've been voted one of the top 5 love coaches in the entire world. I have written 5 or 6 books at this point. I'm getting ready to write another book. I am also a tech creator. So I created the very first AI powered love coach in your very own pocket, which will be launching, like the full thing will be launching within a week or 2. Y'all, that's been an ongoing thing. We'll talk about that later. However, the app is coming because for once, women deserve to be able to have an advantage to being able to attract high quality men that are going to love their souls instead of dealing with all these Build-A-Bears running around in the wild out here. Okay. So let's get into it. I want you to put in the chat, what is the number 1 challenge that you've encountered as a woman in the dating game? Whether if you're in a relationship that you're not happy with, or if you're single, what has been the number 1 challenge that you've encountered in the dating game? Put it in the chat. Okay? Drop it in the chat. YouTube, welcome to the party. I'm glad you're here. Finances, what does that mean? You dating broke guys? Is that what it is? How to punish my husband who disrespected me and hung up the phone on me. Ma'am, your relationship sounds toxic. It sounds like you got other stuff going on, ma'am. The other things. Not enough options. You know there's 7.5 billion people in the world, Lanny. Okay, being approached or in proximity to quality men, that means your feminine energy is low. I don't settle. And no one can meet my standards, so I cut them off. Oh, that's a defense mechanism because you're emotionally unavailable. Because if you create that barrier, then it prevents you from getting hurt or disappointed or abandoned. Okay, that's a love block. We'll talk about that later. No one is no one. Oh, okay, honey. Energy to get up and go on dates. Oh, okay. It sounds like to me you have no motivation because you consider dating to have more bad than good. So of course you're not going to want to go out on dates. Future faking and then being blindsided when he leaves or can't step up. Okay, so basically the man acts like he wants more, like he's looking for somebody for his future, and then he gets it, and then he walks away, and he's not willing or ready to commit like he claimed he was in the beginning. I got that, ma'am. That's basically science, and I can break that down so that never happens to you again. Accepting things for what they are. Okay. Why do you attract stingy men? That's because you're stingy with yourself. You're stingy with your self-value because you're not seeing your value, because you're not raining the love and the acceptance and worthiness upon yourself. The men is going to hold it back from you as well. Hello, why do I attract let me see, a man being broke, poor, low effort, bad character, not enough good options, not being their preference? Oh, that's a standard thing, ma'am. Okay, because when you have that standard, then you're going to become a magnet to the kind of men that baseline are going to be financially successful. Money is a frequency and a vibration, and when you start to vibrate at that frequency, then you become a magnet to those type of men. I'm gonna teach you about all of that. That's coming. Let's see. I'm ready to get married. I haven't been in a relationship for a year, but how do I get him to propose? How do you get who to propose, baby? What do you mean get him to propose. What? I'm speechless at this point, ma'am. I'm speechless, okay? You don't get a man to propose. You be the wife prize that you are. And he who finds a wife has found his prize. And if he hasn't identified you as his prize, then he ain't the one to claim you as his wife. That's his loss, not yours. And when you see that, then you'll have so many options that's rising up to claim you as the prize that you are. Let me just back up and explain something to you, ladies. Before I get into the science and before I get into the fact that every one of these ragamuffins of a men that you're sleeping with, he is leaving an imprint in your body. And that imprint that he's leaving in your body is creating a barrier to the next man, to the man that's supposed to be in your world. So it's really important and imperative for you to be able to understand, like, what are you doing out here? It's just like if you were playing in a basketball game. If you don't know what the rules of the game are, you're automatically going to lose. The whole game is going to be played around you, whether if you say you don't want to play or not. If you're standing on the court, and if you're alive, you're standing on the court, and if you don't understand that there's rules to this game, then you are going to set yourself up to either lose or to get hurt. So it will behoove you to listen to what it is I'm getting ready to teach you. Now, before I get started, okay, I'm a master certified love strategist. What does that mean? That means I'm at the highest designation of love coaching. I have been doing this for 2 decades. That's 20 years. I went on a dating experiment where I interviewed over 4,000 men, women, and couples. I went on 100 dates in a little over 3 months, and I read hundreds of love, dating, and relationships. And I studied the science of attraction. These are my top 4 favorite experts that I'm going to be referring to during this live. The first one is Dr. Helen Fisher. She's like the godmother of anthropology and love and attraction. She's amazing. And then we have Dr. Luann Brizendine. Dr. Luann Brizendine wrote the book, The Male Brain. She also wrote The Female Brain. And she talks about how men are biochemically wired to be able to fall in love. And then we have Dawn Maslar. Dawn Maslar is amazing. She has broken down exactly like why men chase and women choose and the biology behind that. And then we have Dr. John Gray. Dr. John Gray is an easy read for most people. And Dr. John Gray talks to you about the science, basically, of attraction, like what made him pull away, what makes a man choose one woman over the other to actually call his wife. So these are going to be the experts that we refer to. And before I start teaching you so that I'm in spiritual alignment, now my clients that work directly with me pay me upwards of $300,000 to $1 million to work with me. Now, you're getting ready to get this high quality coaching that I give to my clients for the next 30 minutes. But before I ever coach anybody, I always ask for permission so that I can be in spiritual alignment. So if I have your permission to be your coach, even if it's temporarily right here on this live, then put yes ma'am in the chat. If I have your permission, okay, to help you up level your love life and be your coach for this moment, put yes ma'am in the chat so that we can be in spiritual alignment, okay? Because when I'm coaching, I'm not just talking to your conscious mind, I'm talking to your subconscious mind where you are making decisions, where you're getting stuck at, where you are subconsciously blocking yourself from being able to attract love. And I need permission in order to do what it is that I do and not be in violation of spiritual law. If I don't have your permission, ma'am, clock out, okay? Just go on and jump off this live, okay? Because I'm assuming that if you stay on, then I have your permission. However, when you speak the words yes, when you're in agreement, then you open yourself up to being able to receive the energetic alignment with what my words are sending to you. Because I'm not only talking to your mind and your subconscious mind, I'm also talking to your spirit, speaking into you life that may you attract your romantic best friend. May you attract the highest form of love that's waiting for you. Now, how many of you simply just want to know, like, what is it? What am I doing wrong? And what can I do to just meet my romantic best friend? Like, how many of you are ready for that? Just say I. That's what you want to learn. How many of you just want to know, what do I need to do? Just say I, so I can take a pulse on exactly where you are. How many of you understand that there's a science to attraction? Like, that's predictable. And that if you do certain steps in the process of dating, then you can guarantee that you're going to increase your options. And when you're increasing your options, that means you're increasing the probability of meeting that man that's for you. Say yes, ma'am, if you do understand that. How many of you understand that love is a science and there's a science to attraction? And then when you operate accordingly, then you increase your options. And this is a numbers game. The higher your options, the more likely you're going to meet your soulmate. How many of you understand that? How many of you understand? How many of you understand that for many of you, your ex is still in your body? Your ex that you're no longer with, he is still biochemically and genetically still stuck in your body. And that energetic frequency can be blocking your soulmate from coming to you. How many of you understand that? Say I. If you understand that, some of you, you know your ex, he wasn't even that cute. Okay? He wasn't even that great in bed at all. He wasn't even so amazing. For whatever reason, you're still dreaming about him. You're still stuck on him. You're still craving him. Did you not ever wonder why? Some of you can even sense or feel when he's around. Some of you can even sense when he's having sex with another woman. Do you not know why? Have you ever wondered why? How many of you, who I'm talking to? How many of you have ever wondered why? How many of you have ever had sex with somebody and you felt drained after you had sex with him? You felt like you started to have bad luck, good things weren't happening, you felt like you were blocked. You got it started. No?
You want this way or this way?
Do it this way. Do it the long way. Yeah. How many of you know what I'm talking about? Okay, so we're going to get into soul ties. We're going to get into all that. But let's first start with the basics. How many of you have never seen me live before? So you've never heard me talk about the 6 phases of a relationship. How many of you you don't understand, you don't know what the 6 phases of a relationship and the science behind the 6 phases of a relationship? How many of you never heard me talk about it? You don't know what the 6 phases of a relationship. You don't understand how to date accordingly to give yourself an advantage of choosing the highest quality men. Here, let's just put it over here, love bug.
Where?
You just put it right here. You can just make that higher and put it here. Okay, so we have a lot. We have a lot of people who've never ever heard me talk about the 6 phases of a relationship. And so basically you don't understand. You don't understand the science. All right, so let's break it down, okay? And I really want you to hear me. If you really hear me as I'm talking to you, it will change how you do dating. It will change everything for you. You won't have to worry about getting your heart broken anymore. You won't have to experience being disappointed or ghosted or attracting the Build-A-Bears or the men who are beneath you. You won't have to experience that over and over and over again if you can understand that. Okay? Now, there's 2 important things that I always say that you got to understand. Who are you looking for? Okay? Who are you looking for? What type of man are you looking for? Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. Oh, dear God. Put it in the chat. What kind of man are you looking for? I'm saying, I have no idea. Thank you for your honesty. Okay, I'm seeing some people. You said a man of God, somebody who's secure. You said nothing. These men are walking over me. You're looking for my husband who's kind, loyal, and respectful, stable, kind, generous father figure, provider, a good one. Is it crazy not to know? No, it's very common. It's very common. A lot of people have no idea. They have no idea what to look for. They have no idea what they're looking for. You said a husband, an honest person, somebody who's funny, so far an emotionally intelligent man. Listen, y'all, whenever you have a chance to describe your soulmate, always take it, okay? We live in an energy, spiritual universe. as you speak into your world, you are actually manifesting, you are creating. And then when two or more touch and agree, then you're amplifying that energy. So for all of you who are just looking at me and you're not interacting in the chat, as your coach, I'm telling you right now, you are missing the opportunity to manifest and call forth your soulmate. Okay, this is not a passive sport. So you wanna interact, because that's gonna be able to give you the most out of our conversation today. What are you looking for? Somebody said they're looking for Johnny Depp. Ma'am, clock out, ma'am. Okay? No, ma'am. Clock out. Strong, protective, family-oriented, kind, patient, and dedicated to success. A man who cares for me and cherishes me in action and respecting me. He's financially stable, loving father, loving leader, man of God, someone normal. Okay. Thank you for the work you're doing. You're welcome, baby. Loyal, family-oriented, provider, somebody who treats me like how I deserve. Facebook, welcome to the conversation. I'm talking about getting really clear about what is it you want. Sorry, you down there. So Love Bug is still trying to figure out getting you on the right stand. Okay, so just stay with me for a second. Somebody said, I'm looking for my bestie, somebody who treats me like I deserve. If you're just joining on Facebook, I ask, what kind of man are you looking for? Okay, what are you looking for? What are you looking for in a man? A high value man. What is that? What is that? A man of honesty and transparency. Yo, I have not seen one person who knows what they want. And that's the crazy thing. Okay? There's many of you that's on here and not one person knows what they want. Because you're telling me adjectives. But I say, who are you looking for? Who are you looking for? What kind of man are you looking for? A provider who supports me in my own massage business. Okay, you're talking about what he's going to do. You ain't talking about the who. A man who aligns with my values. I'm looking for my soulmate. Then I don't know. A man of moral character. I mean, there's a lot of men. You want to marry your teacher? You want to marry the old man at the grocery store? Someone who is strong enough where I can be weak enough to. A Caribbean man. I'm West Indian, ma'am. I need you to start back at baseline with that request. Okay? Someone who will prioritize me and hold a safe space for me. Somebody who would treat me. So again, I'm hearing a lot of what he's gonna do. You got it together? Okay. I'm hearing a lot of what he's gonna do, but not who he is. So let me help you, because here's the thing that I'm gonna feel in with you. First of all, you gotta get clear on what it is that you're looking for, okay? What do you want? What is it that you really want? And there's no way you're gonna know what you want if you don't know who you are. And what I find in this business that's super not popular, that people always talk about the juicy popular stuff. Can I teach you how to be the most amazing ethical seductress to get any man to fall for you like that? Absolutely. That's my claim to fame. I started off where I was doing my dating experiment, and I was going on over 100 dates in a little over 3 months. And I kept getting men to fall for me, and they would fall for me in less than 30 days. And these men wanted to do for me. They wanted to give to me. One man bought me a house. Okay. And we weren't even in a committed relationship. And he was like, I don't even need anything from you. I want to give this to you. Gave me the deed to the house. Another man bought me a car. I was getting shopping sprees. Me and my friends were getting trips, and I didn't even have to ask for it. I didn't have to ask for it. So this is the secret that I'm going to be able to reveal to you. However, the number one thing that I realized, even with all that sexiness and teaching you all that, how to get a man to want to give to you and want to do for you, if you don't first know who you are, if you haven't yet become the version of what you want to attract, then baby, you're going to attract at your lowest point of trauma. You're going to attract at your lowest point of insecurity. You're going to attract at your lowest form of expectation. You don't get what you want, you get what you expect. What are your expectations? And what I can tell you, just by looking at your list, many of you don't expect much. That's the first thing. You don't expect much. You're not even asking for a lot. What you're asking for is literally the bare minimum. Asking that a man be a provider, asking for a man to treat you right, asking for a man to be kind to you and honest, ma'am, that's baseline. That's like asking for a house and just saying, well, I want something with 4 walls and a roof and a foundation. You're not asking for nothing. You're not saying anything. That's not something that's high on the list. But so many women have lowered their standards and lowered their expectation in order to eliminate or minimize disappointment. And that's what leads to your disappointment. That's the first thing. The second thing is you have to understand, and this is something that I learned by accident. That there was a difference. Thank you, baby, for the penis on my head. Okay, so there's a difference between, there's two types of men. There's a difference between the men that are in their healed masculine energy and the men that are in their feminized energy, okay? And on that spectrum, there's a difference in what stage he is in. A man is either in his knight stage, he's either in his prince stage, or he's in his king stage, or he's in his elder stage, and you need to know what stage is he in. You need to know if he is a man rooted in his masculine healed energy, or if he's in his feminized energy. And I know women like, well, there's nothing wrong with feminine energy. Absolutely not, ma'am. No, ma'am. As a matter of fact, you want to be in your feminine energy. If you understand that everything in the universe vibrates to a certain frequency, then you will understand that you, as a woman, the reason why you have these and the reason why you're a woman is because you vibrated to the frequency as a woman for the most part. That means you have 10 times more estrogen than he has testosterone. But as a man, he has 10 times more testosterone than he has estrogen. And that affects your brain. It biochemically wires you a different way. And it causes you to fall in love differently. It causes you to operate differently when it comes to the mating game. So, for a lot of you, what you were describing is that you wanted a man who was exhibiting masculine traits. He's a doer. He's a provider. He's a giver. He's able to love you. He's able to be confident. He's able to be honest. He's able to be respectful. He's able to be a good father. He's able to be a good husband. All that are masculine energy traits. Now, what a lot of you are doing is you picking up these feminized boys who are highly in their feminine energy. You know, the men that they want to be pretty too. They want flowers on a date too. They want you to pay 50-50 on a date. They want you to be the pursuer. They want you to ask them out. They want you to be the one that's courting them. They want you to give it up easy. They don't want to have to work or earn anything. Then you end up with these men. You end up slipping and falling on aisle 5 on the first night. And God forbid you end up stuck with them. You end up having a child with them and don't end up getting stuck and marrying one of these men. And now you drained and you tired. Why? Because you're with a man that A, wasn't even in his masculine energy, and B, he was still in his night phase. And some men, they're stuck in the night phase until they're like in their 40s. What do I mean? So a man will go through the phase where he just wants to have fun. Okay? He wants adventure. Allison, it'll come to me. I can't think of her last name. But she wrote the book, Keys to the Kingdom. And she's brilliant at breaking down men in the different stages that they're in. And when a man is in his night phase, he's in his playing phase. He's in his, I can love you. I can enjoy your company. But I'm not really looking to settle down. I don't have much to give you. I'm not really trying to commit to anything. I'm not going to sacrifice anything. He's in his trying to figure it out phase. He's in the phase before he wants to build something phase. So you can meet this man in college, for instance. And you know, this is when they talk about like the chair theory, right? The ring around the rosies, and whoever gets to the chair first or gets in the taxi cab first, then when the light comes on and that's the woman he ends up being with. Kind of, sort of, no ma'am, not really. Allison Armstrong, thank you very much. So when a man meets you, and if he's in his night phase, then he will waste your time if you're sitting around waiting for him to turn into the prince. Some of you sat there waiting on a night because it was passionate, it was fun, it was adventurous, it was a lot of uncertainty and a lot of unknown, because your nervous system was wired for the drama and the trauma because your childhood was so uncertain. Emotionally, maybe. Physically, maybe. Mentally, it was so uncertain. So then you needed that man who was also uncertain. So now as a grown woman in her 40s, you still keep attracting the man that can't settle down, that's still in his night phase, that got your nervous system all over the place in uncertainty. So that's what a knight is going to give you. He wants to play, he wants to have fun, he can love you, but he's not trying to give you the keys to the kingdom. The prince phase is when he gets to the prince phase, he is looking to either build his kingdom first before he gets his wife, or he's looking to find his wife who can help him to build the kingdom together. One's not better than the other. One's not right or wrong. That's just what it is. However, he's clear. He's clear that he is looking for the woman that he wants to give a castle to. And you know these kind of men. Why? Because they are moving towards something. They are intentional. They are intentional about looking for that wife who he can put in his castle. Okay? For all of the people talking about some sprinkle all over the daggone place. The men that you're looking for, these men that fall for women, that are just looking for somebody that's going to take care of them, they're not the kind of man that's trying to give you the keys to his kingdom. That's not the kind of man that he's trying to build his kingdom with, ma'am. You are an object, okay? You're an accessory. You are an equivalent to him buying a new car or a set of irons when he plays golf. That's it. You're not the woman that he is bringing because he wants to give you the castle. It's energetic. It's in alignment. And those kind of men, they will use you. They will buy you the purse. They will take you on the trips. They'll do all that. But when he's done with you, he'll discard you like he discards everything else. Or the kind of man that wants to give you the keys to the castle that he built because he feels like he's not a man until he has a castle that he can give to a woman. That man's going to be very deliberate in the kind of woman that he's choosing. And I used to matchmake men. And I used to matchmake very wealthy men. And I used to coach very successful, wealthy men. And it always came down to two type of rich men. And the man that wants to build his castle with you doesn't want you to know what he has, if he has it already. And the man that wants you to build it with him, he is looking for a woman who is already radiating that wife energy, who he can build with. So who is that woman? Follow me for a second. Yep. Are y'all still with me? Talk to me. Are y'all still with me? Because I want to make sure, because I'm going to go pretty fast with this, and I want to make sure y'all still with me. Y'all still understand? You still with me? Okay, so follow me. Okay. So this type of man who is building, he is in his masculine energy. Now, based on the law of polarity, if he is in his masculine energy, this man that is a doer, this man that is a builder, then what kind of energy do you think that you're going to need to be in order to magnetize, to be in polarity with this kind of man? Talk to me. What do you think that your energy is going to have to be in order for this man to see you as his wife? Just guess. Okay? Exactly, TikTok. Feminine. Now, ladies, for all of my ladies, how many of you believe that because you're successful, you're intimidating and you turn off successful men? Like, where are you? Where are the ladies that feel like because you're intimidating and because you're smart and because you have your own house, your own money, then you intimidate men? Like, where are you? Because I'm about to bless and change your life. Okay? Where are you at? Active, independent, but charming, subtle. Someone giving mixture of both energy. Okay. How many of you feel like you're intimidating? Because you're successful. Because of your success, you're intimidating. Okay? You feel like you turn off these kind of men. How many of you do that? Now, 99% of my practice is working with very high achieving, successful women who, when they come to me, they felt like that. They felt like that they were very intimidating, and that men that are successful also don't want these kind of women. They want the docile, easy woman. How many of you align with that? How many of you think that? Okay? You want the woman that doesn't have that much going on, because he wants to be the one that's on the top of the castle. Okay? That's what they thought when they came to my practice. However, after doing this for 2 decades, after helping thousands of women, now remember, like the clients that I work with, 100% of my clients that I work with have attracted a relationship, have attracted love, have up-leveled their life. Whenever a client works with me, okay? And these clients, they come in, they couldn't find love as a successful woman, and then all of a sudden they're able to attract love. They're able to attract their soulmate. So what is the difference? Somebody tell me what they think changed. Somebody tell me what you think changed. What changed in these women? Huh? Because she was still high performing. She was still VP of a company. She was still a doctor. She was still a dentist. She was still a CEO. She was still running her business. She was still making it happen. So what do you think was the difference? Even with me, when I couldn't attract a good man to save my life, and then all of a sudden I had men wanting to give me things. I got not 1, not 2 proposals. I got 7 proposals. I was proposed to 7 times before I chose my husband, and we've been married going on 11 years this August. What do you think changed? The first thing that changed is our identity. Our identity changed. For a lot of successful women, your identity is on your performance. Your identity is on your performance. And when your identity is on your performance, then you can't be seen for who you are. And you have a mindset that you got to earn love in order to receive love. And whenever you operate, especially in a dating game, the way you're operating in the boardroom, then it's not going to work in the bedroom. It's just not going to work, because you're coming with the energy that you aren't the prize, even subconsciously. And for a masculine man, he's looking for somebody that can receive him. For a masculine man who is building a castle for you, he needs you to have space for him to add value to you. And if you, as a successful, achieving woman, it's like, well, I'm good. I don't really need a man. I can do it on my own. I can sit here and struggle to open the pickle jar and do anything that a man can do. And if you have that mindset, all right, that's beautiful. However, for that kind of man, he's going to go elsewhere, even when the sex is great, even when he thinks you're a beautiful woman. Even when he prefers to have a woman that he can build with, he will go to the waitress. He will go to the grocery store worker. I promise you. Why? Because she's in her feminine energy and she's able to receive his efforts to up-level his life. Ma'am, your money is for you. Your success is for you, and it's amazing. And what I found with working with so many successful men is that they actually want and prefer a woman who's smart, men that are building something, and that want a woman that will build with them. They want a woman that's smart. They want a woman who can think for herself. They want a woman who's successful. They want a woman who's going to be right there beside him that's building his kingdom. But he doesn't want a woman he's going to feel like he has to compete with. He doesn't want a woman that he's going to have to fight with to let him clear the driveway because it's a snowstorm. And he's like, you shouldn't be doing this. Let me do it. How many of you seen that video of that woman that was arguing with her husband while she was sitting there trying to shovel the driveway? And he was like, I'm your husband. Let me do it. And she's like, I'm a woman. I can do it. Hear me roar. Or the kind of woman that's going to have a problem with a man opening your door, or have a problem with doing the things that as a man that he wants to do. When he's like, listen, keep your money, do what you want to do. I'm going to pay the bills. There's some women that get mad about that. And for a man that's in his masculine energy, that's going to hurt him on the deepest level, especially when he's in his prince phase. Okay? Then when he gets to his king phase. Now, during the prince phase, for all of my ladies who are married and or you are divorced and you are married to a man that he was a good man, but you felt like he wasn't really paying attention to you. How many of you know what I'm talking about? Like, you felt like he went through a period of time that he was more focused on work. He wasn't really spending as much time with the kids. He wasn't really, giving you the time, the attention, and the energy that you wanted. How many of you know what I'm talking about? You went through that in your marriage, and maybe you're unhappy in your marriage, or maybe you got divorced. How many of you know what I'm talking about with that? Okay? Because when a man is in his prince phase, he is in his grinding to build the empire phase. Listen to what I'm saying, ladies. Listen. If you really get what I'm saying, it's going to completely change your life, okay? The man who feels like he hasn't been able to build a foundation that's going to be able to impact and provide for his family isn't going to be satisfied until he gets there. So he's going to go through the grinding phase. And during that phase, he doesn't have enough mental space to be able to focus on his wife as much. Okay? He doesn't have that much space. Oftentimes, he's not spending as much time with the kids. So it's a lot of times where women want to leave their husband when they're going through the prince phase. Now, I'm not talking about if he's abusing you. I'm not talking about if he's cheating on you. I'm not talking about if he's disrespecting you. Okay? But during this phase, what does that mean? Let's rewind back when you're dating a man, okay? And you date the broke guy. And it's all amazing in the beginning until it's not. And when this man starts to drain you, and when you start to feel like, what in the world did I see in you in the first place? And when that man can't really love you right. And how many of you have ever been cheated on by a broke dude? Where you at? How many of you have been cheated on or mistreated? It seemed like the broke ones be the worst. They be the worst ones, okay? It be the broke ones. Love bug, give me a paper towel, please. Love bug. It be the brokest ones be the ones that cheat on you, that mistreat you, that want to put you down, that want to gaslight you, that are oftentimes narcissists or oftentimes abusers or want to compete with you or put you down when it comes to your career. And they be angry, and then they be the ones that you damn near got to beg for time. And it's like, dude, what are you doing? Like, you ain't even really working anything quite seriously, and you don't even have time. You don't even have time to treat me right. Like, what am I doing here? However, what happened was he made you say, na 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 on the first night, and now you are biochemically hooked on him because you done released that oxytocin, which is a woman's bonding hormone that causes extreme addiction. And so now you're addicted to this man and you can't seem to let him go. And everywhere around him says that he is not even worth your time and you can't seem to walk away. The reason why is the broke man don't even have the mind space as a man to fully show up for you and emotionally provide for you, let alone financially provide for you when he is broke. Because his sense of significance is tied to his sense of ability to be able to provide. And if he can't provide, he will either put you down or leech on you or both. So you should never, ever, ever let him get his life together. Let him get it together. Now, if you both in college and you know he's in med school and he's working towards something, that's different. You under 30, that's different, okay? I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the women that are 30 and up. You 30 and up and you successful and you got it going on and you're financially responsible. There is absolutely no reason why you should even be considering a man who is financially dysfunctional. Okay? Absolutely not. Who is currency critical. No, he's a no man. Okay? Let him go get his life. Go let him get it together. And you keep dating. And you keep choosing the person that aligns with you and aligns with your value. So then when you come over to the prince and he's in his building phase, he's going to be focused on building. And he has to learn how to be able to bring his head up so that he can be able to meet your needs. And for a lot of women, especially women who haven't done the inner work on them first before they've gotten married, they don't know how to hold space for that. Their stuff comes up. And so when he's not paying attention to you, and when he's not giving you time, and when he's not loving you the way you want to, then subconsciously you thinking that maybe it's me. So then you want to run away, you want to get a divorce, you want to lead a man, you want to start being critical, you want to put him down because women criticize themselves. Your mama probably criticized you, so then that's what you know. You start criticizing him, and the more you criticize him, the more you push him away, and the more you push him away, the more he's not getting his needs met, and next thing you know, he's sleeping with the secretary. The next thing you know, he's the bad guy, and now you're getting a divorce. Okay? And I see this over and over and over again. Not saying it's right. I'm saying what it is that I see. Because for a lot of women that are high achieving women, they're oftentimes ruby. They're oftentimes alpha type women. And these type of women that are highly in their masculine energy, that emasculate their men, that think that you can talk to a man any kind of way, I guarantee you're going to end up divorced or unhappy. Okay? You're going to be divorced or unhappy. The women that end up being the happiest are the women that learn what it is that I'm teaching you. How to be able to sit safely in your feminine energy. And you can't sit safely in your feminine energy if you haven't dealt with the stuff first. Okay? If you haven't cleared the love blocks, the thoughts, behavior, beliefs, or energetic subconscious blocks that are keeping you from what it is that you want. And I promise you, if you have been looking for your soulmate, wanting your soulmate, dating, etc., and you haven't met the one, and it's been 3 months or longer, then you have love blocks. Doesn't mean anything's wrong with you. Doesn't mean you're broken. That just means that you have old furniture that's not working for your new house, and you need to clear it out and put the new furniture that's going to work for you. And then the next thing, the third thing, the biggest thing, when you're coming from that space, right? When you're operating from that space, and you're clear, you said you follow your tips and got proposed to 3 times, and I'm now married to a masculine provider. Congratulations, baby. Good for you. Good for you. Yeah, I hear it all the time. I'm so happy for you. And then the third thing is when you're showing up in the dating game and you're showing up in the whole feminine, healed version of you, right? Then you understand that there's 6 phases to dating. Now, catch this if you can. Okay? Catch this if you can. Now, I'm getting ready to break down the science, and I'm getting ready to break down the rules, right? I'm gonna break down the rules. You follow this, you're gonna have men eating out the palm of your hands. However, when you do what I told you to do earlier, when you're able to clear out those love blocks, when you're able to rewire this and rewire your nervous system, you won't even need any of these rules. You won't need the rules. You'll be a natural magnet to the highest value men. And these highest value men can't be broke. Period. It's impossible. They can't be broke. A high value man is going to be the kind of man that has character, values, and valor. And this kind of man vibrates on the frequency of abundance. So you're going to attract that kind of man when you yourself become that. And when you understand how to date, understanding science, you're going to move differently. You're going to naturally want to move differently. And when you move this way, this is the kind of woman that has what we call the it factor, that draws men to her, that makes men want to give her the world. So let's get into it, okay? The first phase is called the attraction phase. Now, if you just do the upfront work first, if you get it right before you swipe, then I'm telling you, you're going to have so many men that are going to be coming out the woodworks for you. Your exes are going to show up, because exes always show up when you do the inner work. Promise you that. He can feel it. He can feel when you're getting ready to up level. And that's when you know. When you know that you're doing the work and then the exes start coming out, you know you're in the right place, ma'am. Don't pass go. Don't collect $200. Do not circle the block. Never go back to the place that broke you. But when you're entering into the attraction phase, he's going to see you, and what you've done is you triggered his testosterone. What does that mean? A man's testosterone is his hunter. That's what makes him a hunter, a pursuer. And that's also his sex hormone. So you are thinking, because he's saying all these sweet nothings, that is because it's like The Notebook, ma'am, or Love and Basketball, or Romeo and Juliet. No, ma'am. Okay? What you've triggered his desire to want your honey pot. That's what it is, ma'am. He wants your ham sandwich is what he wants. Your peach cobbler. Okay? Your apple pie is what he wants, ma'am. Your kibbles and bits, your Scooby snacks. That's what he wants, ma'am. Okay? He wants your munch and crunch. That's what he wants. If you try to romanticize it as anything else, okay? From the fact that he wants your cookies, then you're going to get hurt. I promise you. According to Dr. Helen Fisher, there's no such thing as love at first sight. There's no such thing. And even if this man is your soulmate, okay, let me detour. Can I get deep for a second, or do y'all want me to just stay surface level? Can I just go deep for a minute and talk about soulmates and twin flames for a second? Y'all okay? Who wants me to, who says it's okay for me to go deep? Facebook, is it okay for me to go deep for a second? Huh? Okay. She said, somebody said, give it to me raw. Okay. Okay. Now I done forgot what the heck I was gonna say. Now I forgot what the heck I was gonna say. Okay, I'll come back to it. Now, when this man wants it, ma'am, okay? When this man wants it, when he wants your kibbles and bits, right? When he wants your sex hormone, and if you are thinking like, this is like the Notebook, he just wants me, and then you allow him to rush you. Oh, soulmates. Let me talk about soulmates. Okay. Every single one of you guys has not one soulmate. You have multiple soulmates. Okay. And for many of you, you have been encountering what's called your twin flame. And your twin flame, his job is to prepare you for your soulmate. But some of you guys, you get stuck and you get hooked on your twin flame. Now, for many of you, the reason why you haven't yet met your soulmate is because you're not in energetic alignment with your soulmate. And so just because you meet your soulmate does not mean that your soulmate is going to stick and stay. It's kind of like just because you get your dream job does not mean you're going to keep that job if you show up to the job and you don't know how to perform the job. If you're not equipped with the skill set to maintain the job, then you're going to lose a job. And it's the same thing when it comes to your soulmate. We got to stop romanticizing it. So when you are showing up to the dating game, you might very well encounter your soulmate. And I've seen this happen before. You can encounter your soulmate and then you can lose your soulmate because you are not energetically in alignment to hold space for your soulmate. How many does that make sense to you? If it makes sense to you, say I. Okay? If that makes sense to you, say I. So you don't wait to get ready. You don't start getting ready when you're ready to start dating or find love. You get ready so that you can stay ready. So that you're ready when your soulmate comes around. When it's time for your soulmate to come around to you, you are already ready to receive him when you're ready to receive him. If that makes sense. So when you're dating and you've triggered his testosterone, then that means he wants it. And once you start the attraction phase, it's game on. Now, what's happening to you? What's happening to you is that you are releasing oxytocin. And a woman is unique in that way. For a man, biochemically, he was designed to fall slow. You were designed to fall fast. So as soon as you meet somebody whom you're attracted to, his pheromones smell good to you. And for many of you ladies, you're on birth control. Now, I'm not knocking birth control, ma'am. If you like it, I love it. I'm just telling you the science, okay? According to the science, when you're on birth control, your ability to be able to smell compatibility goes out the window. What does that mean? That means that when you're on birth, you as a woman have the ability to smell if you're genetically compatible. How genetically different are you? Because the more that you're genetically alike, the more you increase the risk of your offspring having certain disabilities, okay? And so to avoid that, you can smell. You can smell his pheromones. He can smell your pheromones. You can taste it when you kiss. Your body can can identify, like, are we genetically compatible? Have you ever kissed a man that was so fine and sexy, and then you kissed and you're like, ew, like, no ma'am. How many of you know what I'm talking about? Or some of you might have smelt him, you know, like when he was kind of musty or whatever, you smelled under his armpit, and as soon as you smelled him, you was like turned off. Or some of you might have been with somebody, got off of birth control, and then you was completely turned off by him. That's why. That's why. So for many of you, you're dating biochemically blinded. Many of you are dating biochemically blinded. If you're on an IUD, if you're on the copper IUD, that's different. It's not really releasing hormones. I'm not a doctor. Talk to your doctor so your doctor can put you on the right birth control and all the disclaimers my attorney said I need to say to you, okay? So when you're dating, you gotta recognize what you're working with. If you are on birth control, it doesn't mean that you can't find somebody that's compatible with you, but you gotta operate differently. Your vetting process needs to be more stringent. You need to be intentional about how you're dating and what you're looking for. Okay? If you're menopause, then even if you're menopausal, then that's another thing too, because when you're menopausal, your hormones can be out of balance, and there's things that you can do to be able to balance your hormones so that you can properly be able to see and vet him. A workaround. Here's a workaround. Let me do a shortcut. Here's a workaround. For the women who are on birth control and you are biochemically blinded, if you're tapped into your feminine, listen to what I'm saying, y'all. I'm downloading this. I'm downloading this. I've never taught this before. If you are tapped into your feminine, you're tapped into a frequency and the power to be able to connect to your intuition. And if you're connected to your intuition, then your intuition is going to tell you if there's alignment or not. For many of you, you don't know what your intuition is saying. You're not really connected to your body. So then you can't hear when your body's saying you're in danger, girl. You can't hear. You think that's butterflies. You think that means that there's chemistry. You think that means that, you know, it's meant to be, that he's your soulmate and blah, 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 blah. And no, ma'am, no, it's not. What it means is you in danger, girl. You need to get out of there. That's what it means. It means that your subconscious mind picked up on some signs of danger that reminds them of something that's happened to you in the past, maybe even in your childhood. And what it caused your body to release cortisol, which is your stress hormone, and cortisol goes straight to your stomach. And when cortisol goes to your stomach, then you feel the butterflies. You feel the butterflies in your stomach. So then if you're tapped into your feminine energy, and it's not enough for you to be feminine. Let me clarify this. It's not enough for you to walk around pretty, with your nails done, your hair done, and smelling good. That's not feminine energy, by the way. Just want you to know, okay? Feminine energy isn't your ability to be able to attract men and cook them food and clean the house. That's not feminine energy at all. Feminine energy is a frequency. It's a way of being. It's a way of moving. Feminine energy is like music. Feminine energy is like air that you can't see. Feminine energy is a flow. It's the way you flow. It's your frequency, your vibrational frequency that aligns to Mother Earth, that aligns with creation, that aligns with intuition, that aligns with manifesting. So then when you're in your feminine energy and it's anchored, then you're able to see without seeing. You're able to know without feeling. You're able to be present in a way for you to know what your mind might not even be able to justify. So then when you're dating like that, then now you can have a way of seeing a man, even if you're like, I don't know what it is, but something just isn't right. It's no man for me. Okay? That's your feminine energy. However, last caveat about feminine energy is your feminine energy has to be anchored. For many of you, you can attract a masculine man and he's turned on by you. He's really excited by you right in the beginning, and then he fizzles away, or he never really commits, or no man ever really asks you to marry you, or even if he asks you to marry you, he's not really into you. He's not trying to pour into you, that's because your feminine energy isn't anchored. It drew them in, but it can't keep them in because it's not anchored. And the reason why it's not anchored is because feminine energy requires safety in order for it to anchor. And if you don't feel safe in your nervous system, if you don't feel safe in your auric field because of the traumas that's still floating around there, sometimes it's not your traumas, it's your mama's traumas, your grandmother's traumas, your great-great-grandmother's traumas. And if that's still floating in your energetic field, then your feminine energy isn't gonna be able to anchor, and then you're not gonna be able to tune in and tap into it and use it to your advantage. So then after the attraction phase, you're going to automatically enter into what's the courting phase. Now, listen. Remember when I said men are designed to fall slow, you're designed to fall fast? That means that as soon as he starts talking to you and you're smelling his good cologne and you're seeing that he drives his fancy car and he's saying all the right things, the game has already started. It's called mating game for a reason. So the game has already started. And his goal is, even subconsciously, to lower your guard as fast as possible so he can have sex with you. That's the goal. Don't be mad about it. Don't walk around to men like, I know what your goal is. I know you just want sex from me. No, like, you got to be a smart woman. As a smart woman, you file that in the back of your head. Like, you understand that. And you understand that biochemically you're wired to fall fast. What does that mean? The more time you're spending with him too fast, the more your ability to discern drops low. And they've done studies on it. The more likely you're to trust him when he doesn't deserve you to trust him, the more time you're spending with him. So the old mating game that our parents used to do, you know, where they would go out to dinner, that doesn't work for first date. Not in this day and age, no ma'am. It doesn't work. You're dealing with a different day and age. Back in our grandparents' days and back in our parents' days, they had a different intention for getting married, because getting married and having a relationship meant stability. Love wasn't the focal point then. It's changed now. Even men are looking for a woman for love. Women don't need a man anymore for stability and to be provided for and for survival. They don't need that anymore. So it's a different courting game. It's a different dating game. And if you're showing up with old techniques in this new age, you're going to get disappointed and you're going to waste your time. Okay? Because statistically, you are less likely to get married if you're doing dinner first date. If that's your requirement, statistically, I'm not making this up, statistically, okay? The highest married group of people, they do coffee first dates. Highest group of people. The highest income earners do coffee first date. Statistically, okay? So, I don't know. I mean, do you? If you, whatever you like, I love it, ma'am. Okay, my clients, they do coffee first date, and there's a whole formula for do coffee first date, then they do something fun on the second date, and then they do dinner on the third date. And I have a certain process that literally I have a book. I give them a book that's like this thick, and these are the dating rules, and I teach them like this is how you date. Okay, this is how you properly vet a man. These are the questions that you're asking on the first date. These are the questions that you're asking on the second date. These are the questions that you're asking on the third date to determine if he even makes it to the fourth date. And if you want to be able to get into a relationship within basically 30 to 90 days with a quality high value man, then I've basically studied this. And I've helped thousands of people to be able to accomplish this. So then I wrote it down and gave them the whole play-by-play book on how to be able to do this. Absolutely not no wine bars, ma'am. Okay? Going for drinks is not a date. Okay? That's a brothel. That's not a date. You don't ever want... First of all, the fact that you're a woman, when you're falling in love, then that means that... Or attracted. If you're attracted to him, then you're automatically releasing oxytocin. And as you're releasing oxytocin, it's shutting down your frontal lobe. Your thinking, your reasoning part of your brain. How many of you have ever ended up with a man and then when you guys broke up or you divorced, you were like, what was I thinking? Like, what the hell was I thinking? Like, what did I see? What did I see? How many of you ever know, you know what I'm talking about, okay? For my ex-husband, I know I still, even though I know the science, I'm still asking myself, like, what the hell? What the hell? What the hell? What the hell on? Okay? What was I thinking? You weren't, ma'am. You weren't. Your brain was shut down. And you know how y'all like to sit there and breathe on the phone? Huffing and puffing and falling asleep and talking about a bunch of nothing for hours, and then you like to tell them your whole life story and about how this man done played you and then that man that did you wrong and this man that cheated on you with your best friend's cousin's mother's dog's sitter. Then you are basically setting yourself up. Is what you're doing. And then when you're going on a dinner date and now you're in a romantic environment and then you introduce drinking to the mix, then now you're further shutting down that discernment center in your brain, which is causing you to miss the red flags and the signs that this man is a no man. And then on top of that, you dating on birth control, so you're already biochemically blind. And then there you are. There you have it. That's what happened. Okay? And then when you're a Scorpio, you know, y'all Scorpios love y'all, but y'all a bit freaky, okay? Y'all sex drive is on a different level, okay? And when you're Scorpio and he's smelling good and then the chemistry's high and this and that and that and this, and don't let it be months or years since you got it, and then he's whispering in your ear and then he brushes his hand in the right place, ma'am, then that's it, ma'am. You done slipped and fell on our 5. You don't even know what the heck happened, ma'am, and then your Miss Thing took over. I digress so much, okay? And speaking of, I'm a side note, I'm gonna give you some advice since y'all gave me permission to coach you, okay? And give you my $20,000 per hour that my clients pay me in order to coach them. I'm gonna give you some advice that will save you. Ma'am, if you do nothing else when you're dating, go to the Garden of Amazon. I'm gonna try not to get kicked out of TikTok since they sensitive. Go to the Garden of Amazon, and in the Garden of Amazon, they have these devices called the Rose. And they got little bunny rabbits, okay? And they have like the carrot sticks that move real fast. They have different things, okay? And before you go on a date, pick your rose up, okay? Enjoy it. Enjoy it. Take the edge off. Do what you got to do, ma'am. Set yourself up for success. Why are you showing up with pretty underwear on? He ain't gonna see it. He shouldn't be seeing it. You need to make sure that you're not shaving. Stop emailing me, asking me, okay? Y'all keep emailing me, asking me like, Shay, you know, like I slipped and fell on all 5. We did it too soon. Can I save it? Can I salvage it? No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Throw it away. Start all over again, ma'am. Okay, you might be able to save it if it's been one time. And I'll tell you about that later. However, no, ma'am. If you done slipped on out 5 more than twice, ma'am, throw it away. It's rotten. It's rotten to the core, especially if he's not trying to commit to you, which it's only been like a week, so why would he? You don't even know him. So it's a no, ma'am. Throw it away. So rather than set yourself up for failure, just go ahead and get the rose. All right, anyway, moving on. So during the courting phase, when you're in the courting phase, this is the most powerful phase, but this is the phase where many women slip and fall on our 5 because he's doing all the right things. He's saying all the right things. He's taking you out on dates, right? Like y'all are being taken out on. How many of you guys still talking about some talking? Like, how many of you guys believe there's a talking phase? Where are you at? We're talking. Where are my ladies? Come on, be honest. Put your hands up. I'm not judging you. I'm teaching you. How many of you guys believe there's a talking phase? Where you at? Where you at? Ma'am. Do you see how many people, y'all look at the chat. Like, look how many people saying that they believe there's a talking phase. Look at this. 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 Talking for 2 months. Ma'am, what are you talking about? Ma'am, what exactly are you talking about? What is happening here? What are you talking? Why are you still in high school? Are you still in high school? Do you not have a car? Does he not have a car? Like, what? As a grown woman, usually, no ma'am. No ma'am. There's no such thing as a talking phase as a grown woman. You're either dating and then in a relationship, or you're having your time wasted. That's it. That's just one of them. And if you're dating and the dating is going on longer than 3 months, ma'am, then again, you're having your time wasted, is what's happening. There's no talking phase. Like, what are we talking about? You talk on a date. You talk in person. Because here's the scientific data, ma'am. Men don't fall in love through hearing. Did you know that? Hello? Some of y'all aren't going to listen. You know what? Side note. You know what makes my left butt cheek itch, okay, and give me the giggles? Because this is a passion project of mine. It's a passion project of mine because when I was growing up, I had to witness my mother be abused on a regular basis, and I couldn't help her. I couldn't help her get out of the situation. I couldn't help her in it, and I felt helpless. However, when I did my dating experiment and when I learned all the different things that I've learned that work, then I was like, I'm doing good with it. I have the power to help so many women, so that's why I'm on here talking. So then I will create the videos and I will be teaching you stuff that I absolutely know and I've helped other people to get married to. And there will always be a woman that's like, don't listen to her, don't do coffee dates, okay? You should have your standards high. You need to do dinner dates. And then I would go on her profile and I would check her relationship status, and she'll be single as 2 left broken toenails. And then I will tell another woman, like, okay, this is how you're supposed to date, and this is what you want to look for. And then she'd be like, nah, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna do this. And sure enough, she's as single as 2 left toenails. And it just never really made sense to me. That's like you wanting to be a millionaire and then you go to somebody who don't even have $2 in their bank account and they tell you, yeah, I know you said to invest and put your money in a trust, but don't listen to that. Listen to me and go buy lottery tickets, and then you somehow expecting that to work for you. If that makes sense to you, then ma'am, go and do you, okay? Go and do you. But it's still not gonna work. When you're dating, you have to know what it is that you're doing. And regardless, you might not like it. There really is a science to this to make it work for you and to make it work quickly. So when you're dating as a woman, your time is your most valuable asset. Your time. Put it in the chat because I really want you guys to get that. Your time is your most valuable asset. Your time. How are you making him earn your time? And the way you value yourself will determine how generous you are with your time. Your time. And also, what I found out is that based in science, men will fall in love with a woman who he has to earn her time. So then if you're sitting on the phone in your talking phase, just talking, and you have nothing going for you, okay? What you're telling him is nobody else wants me. Ma'am, you're not a prize if nobody else is competing, okay? If you want a champion to claim you, you gotta act like the prize that you are. I don't care if nobody is calling your phone. You better act like everybody's calling your phone. I don't care if you have nowhere to go, ma'am. You better act like you got everywhere to go. But if you're going to be a prize, then you're going to have to act like a prize. So if you're just giving your time up freely, willy-nilly to just any daggone body, ma'am, why would he value you? You don't value you. You don't value your most important asset, which is your time. Okay. How many of you guys, I'm going to pause right here and let me do a temperature check. We're in July, and we're in July. We have August, September, October, November. Y'all know The holidays is 4 months away. Four months away. When a student usually starts in my university, it usually takes us 3 months to get her to the point where she's like a man magnet. Like, it usually is a minimum of 3 months of her really understanding and her transforming into the version of herself that matches the type of partner that she wants to attract. And the problem that I find, right, in doing this work is that I think not enough women take their love life serious enough. Not enough women. Like, we will invest in our educations, we will invest in our cars, we will invest in our houses, we will invest in all kinds of different things. However, in a trip. But when it comes to investing in ourselves, I got $5. Some people be like, I got $5. We don't want to invest nothing in ourselves, and then we wonder why we end up with a Build-A-Bear that ends up taking $50,000. I had one client come to me. She did a love mapping call, and she said that she was dating this guy for 3 years. Her mother passed away. Her mother left her a lot of money, and she ended up buying a house with the money that her mother left her, and she bought him a car too with the money that she left her. And y'all, this man, she had like 3 kids too. And he ended up like quit claiming the deed into his name, stole her house, took the car, kicked her out the house, kicked her and her kids out the house, and got another woman, moved the other woman in her house. And then by the time she came to me, like, she had like a little bit of her mom's savings left, that her mom left her when she passed away. And then when I was like, okay, well then this is what we need to do in order to fix it. And she was like, yeah, I don't really want to invest in myself. And I'm like, make the math, ma'am. Make the math. You done lost $250,000 with this ragamuffin who took your money, and you don't want to invest nothing in yourself. Okay, there's no way you can ever expect. And when I learned that as I was investing in me, that was the biggest return that I was able to get, and the most important part of my life I was going to invest in was definitely going to be my love life. That's when it started to pay dividends for me. You lost over $50,000. Who lost more than $50,000? Let's see in the chat. Who here has lost more than $50,000 dealing with love or dealing with a man? Who else? We got $50,000 on the board. Who got higher than $50,000? Put it in the chat. If you lost more than $50,000, put it in the chat. How much did you lose? Somebody else lost $50,000. I lost a house, a $60,000 car. She beat me. You lost $25,000. Somebody said they lost $50,000. Somebody lost $1 million. Oh my God. $250,000. We got $20,000. I lost an $80,000 job. Dear mother of pearl. He still owes you $20,000 in products. $300,000. $30,000. We got $30,000 on the board. $800,000. What damn. You invested into an entire business with this man, built rooms in his house. How much? Put it in the board. How much you think you lost with him? You lost $255,000 last year. Who? I don't think anybody beat. I think $300,000 was the highest so far. I think $300,000 is the highest. That's what's lost on the board. Anybody higher than $300,000? We got $300,000 going once. $300,000 going twice. She said I lost $60,000. Anybody else lost higher than $300,000? Somebody else put I lost $150,000. You lost my 20s and most of my 30s, and that's a lot. Okay, that's a lot. $800,000. A lady said at the top. Okay, so we got an $800,000. That's right. We got $800,000. We got $800,000. Anybody else more than $800,000? Going once, ma'am. Going twice. Anybody else higher than $800,000? Anybody else higher than $800,000? Sold to $800,000. That's a lot of daggone money. Now, ma'am, the one who said that she lost $800,000, email my staff at support@shaybetter.com, and we are going to send you a hardback cover book, The Science of Attracting Love, and I'm going to sign it for you. We're going to mail it to you. Email my staff. Tell her that you won, the one who got $800,000. Now, let me tell you this. I had a client, and she had to give her Build-A-Bear ex-husband her house that she paid $2 million for, and $1 million. And $1 million. She had to give up her $2 million house that she had already paid in full. And then she had to turn around and give him $1 million. Yes, ma'am. She absolutely did. And I hear stories of that all the time. Ladies, listen, whether if you work with me or not, because I'm definitely not for everybody, okay? I love y'all. I do. I want to help over 1 million women to be able to attract love. We're the best in the industry. Nobody does it like us. There's nobody else that has an AI-powered love coach app and has a system that we have in order to predictably determine your success and exactly where you're at. We can predict it all the way down. We know exactly what stage you're in, the likelihood that if you enter into a relationship, if the relationship's gonna work or not. We know how to identify what your feminine energy level is, what your love block level is, what your relationship readiness is. We've broken down the science of it. But even with all that, I know that I'm not for everybody, even though I want to help everybody. But I'm just telling you, from woman to woman, if you invest in nothing else, please go invest in your daggone self. Invest in yourself. Learn you and how to become the version of you that you want to match so that you can get the highest quality match for you, and not somebody that's going to pull you down, but somebody that's going to add value and that's going to lift you up. Learn how to be able to increase your feminine energy, not because so you can be more attractive and get a man. No, so you can be more connected to your power source. So you can be more connected to you, your God source, your intuition, your power to manifest and multiply money so that you can be able to live life more abundantly, like the promise says. And then learn how to date for marriage. Learn how to date to attract a quality husband, your romantic best friend. Not somebody just that's going to sprinkle some money on you, but somebody that's going to sprinkle his love, his intention, his presence, his wholeness on you, and that you can build an empire with. And that, baby, is invaluable. Now, for those of you who are sick and tired of being sick and tired, and you just want somebody to show you the way, okay? And you want me to be part of that process, just say I, so I can tell you what to do, what the next step is. Not for those of you who just are looking for something free and you just wanted to get some free information. I hope this live was valuable for you. But I'm talking about people that's going to take action. Not just say that they will, but people that's going to take action. And they want a system so that they can be able to align themselves to attract a romantic best friend in time for the holidays. Like, where are you? Okay? Where are those people at? It's one thing when you declare something. As you declare it, so it may be. Like when you speak something, it's the beginning of the rest of your life. That's when you're already beginning the manifesting. That's when you're already quantum leaping into the reality that you want. You're moving out of the current reality that doesn't have what you want into the reality that has the love, that has the abundance, that has the presence of you that you want. When you are willing to go out of your comfort zone and out of your pride to say, yes, that's me. Okay? That's the most powerful thing that you can do. Now, this is what I'm going to do for you. Lovebug, did we, my love mapping call is normally $197, okay? The value of the call is so high that we raise the price to $197. However, for those of you who are ready to take action, I'm going to lower it for you today for $49, okay? And then I'm going to give you a gift. Do y'all remember when I told you that for my students, that I tell them step by step, like what date to go on? Date 1 is the coffee date. Date 2 is a fun date. Date 3 is going to be the dinner date. And these are the questions that you need to ask. Like, what if you had like a cheat sheet so that you knew exactly what to ask and what to look for? Like, how many of you would want that? If you could have a cheat sheet so that you know exactly what to ask, what to look for, and how to properly date a guy, rather than wondering like, what do I say? What do I look for? What is it I do? Okay, if that's you, then I want you to go to lovemappingcall.com. We're gonna reduce the cost of the call to only $49. And then I'm going to give you that cheat sheet. It's called the Feminine Dating Cheat Sheet. You're going to be able to get that cheat sheet so that you know how to date. You know exactly what to ask. You know what exactly to look for. So that even if we're not the one, you want to go somewhere else, then that's fine. But at least you have the guide. And at least when you sit down with my love specialist, you're going to be able to come through and identify what is blocking you. What is keeping you from the love that you want? And what is the steps that we can do to help you so that you can attract your romantic best friend, so that you can become the version of the match that you want to bring in your life and set yourself up so that you can receive him. If that is you, like, don't walk, okay? Don't take your time. Don't wait till later. Go now to lovemappingcall.com. Lovebug, is love mapping call? Lovebug. Is love mapping call, we got it at 49? We got it at 49? We got it at 49? Okay. All right, yeah, please make sure, just for the people that's on live, we can put it back up at the end of the night, okay? So go to lovemappingcall.com. Thank you, Couture Coaching, for putting that up for me, okay? So do I sell the cheat sheet separately? No, it's only for our students. It's only for our students. So no, we don't, in that cheat sheet, and then when you show up for the call, you get over $2,700 of resources anyway, because when you are with me, you're gonna walk away better than the way you came. Okay, my mom always said, leave a place better than the way before you entered it. So you come to me, you come to my love mapping call, ma'am. I promise you, you're gonna leave that love mapping call better than what you entered. And if you haven't, email me. Tell me you didn't. Tell me you didn't. I promise you I'll make it right. I promise you. Because one thing I don't play is about my followers, and I don't play about the women that's coming to me for help, because you are my mother. You're that mother that I couldn't be able to help when I was helpless as a child, but I can help you now. I can help you with the tools and the resources and the formula that I've been able to discover that has helped thousands of women to be able to attract their romantic best friend. So if you're not just talking, you're about making it happen, and you want something that you know is going to work to just tell you what to do, then go to lovemappingcall.com, book your love mapping call. Go to lovemappingcall.com. Look, like I think that. Go to love mapping call. You said you changed my life. Oh, don't make me cry. I can't even read it because you're gonna make me cry. I already know you're gonna make me cry. Don't make me cry. Lee Marissa, you changed my life. I started watching you back in 2020. I recommend so many girls to you. Don't make me cry. You know, like there's some students that like are near and dear to your heart. Like, you know, like there's some students that when they graduate and you see them heal, and when you like, I can still remember every woman that has sat in front of me. And I remember women who came to me and the light wasn't in their eyes. And I remember seeing them broken, and I remember seeing them hurt, and I remember seeing them scared, and I remember them wondering, like, when is it going to be my turn, and what's wrong with me? And I've had women that, you know, they wanted to end their life. And I've had women who have lost their child, and, you know, they hated the world and they thought it was over. And I've had women who were in abusive relationships. And to see them go from that dark place to living life abundantly, to being healed, to being whole, to being happy, to being loved, to being married, to traveling the world, to me, like that's my addiction. You know, I've been successful. Like, I didn't grow up like with a silver spoon in my mouth at all. I had to like blood, sweat, and tears to build this business. And one month, like I made $1 million in a month. And when I made the $1 million, I thought that I was going to be like super excited. Like, oh my God, like I made $1 million. This is amazing. But like I went into like a dark place, and it was dark, and I was like feeling really down, and I was, Lee Marissa, don't worry, it's coming, baby. She said, I'm not married yet, but my feminine energy has for sure improved thanks to you. So I was in this dark place after we made the $1 million in a month, and I was like, I was asking God, like, what's the point of all of this? Like, why am I here? Why am I doing this? It's, you know, like making a lot of money is great. Don't get me wrong. I'm thankful for it, but that's not like the meaning of life. That didn't make my life better. And so while I was like on day 3 of feeling sorry for myself, right? And I know y'all probably thinking this like ridiculous, but follow me for a second. So on day 3, when I was feeling sorry for myself, I got an email from a client, and her name was Deirdre. And I don't know if you've seen Deirdre's testimonial, but when Deirdre was coming to me, Deirdre had a terminal illness. The doctors gave her a certain period of time to live. Her 5 kids hadn't talked to her. She lost her baby when he was 5. He got hit by a car, and she was like a bull in a china shot for real. Like when I tell you, she probably was one of my most difficult clients. I said I was never gonna take a difficult client like that again. So if you difficult, not me, okay, not today, but I'm just saying she was difficult. She called herself a booga wooga. Like now we can laugh about it, but she said she was a booga wooga. And Deirdre also was a hoarder. So she hadn't slept on her whole bed in like years, and she was a hoarder, and she was dying, and her kids hadn't talked to her, and she was miserable. And she just said, I want to get out this pain, like I don't know what to do. And you know, she was like making it hard to help her, and I had to do what I do in order to get her on the right page. So when I was on day 3 of feeling sorry for myself, Deirdre sent me an email, and Deirdre was like, Shay, I just want to thank you. Like, you completely changed my life. She was like, I didn't tell you this, but like I had a terminal illness. The doctor had given me like some, you know, like a certain time to live, and I was dying. And she said, like, I went back to the doctor, and they said that whatever you're doing, keep doing it, because it's gone. Like, you don't have the same illness that you had. And she was like, and you know, my house, I was a hoarder. My house was completely packed, and I hadn't slept in my bed in years, and I was able to clean my house for the first time in years. And she said, and my kids that weren't talking to me, like my kids started talking to me. And she was like, I was able to encounter myself. I was able to say my life is saved because of what I was able to get in your program. And when I tell you, like, I boohooed for like a good hour. And then I said, that's going to be my purpose. That's going to be my drive. Money can't be the drive. That can't be like what the meaning of life is. It has to be like, what effect am I having on the world? How am I able to help women? And by that being what makes me happy, that is what drives me to keep making my programs better. And that's what drives me to, when I'm tired, to keep showing up for those lives. And I'm addicted to it. Like when you guys who are in Diva University, Boss Diva University, any one of my programs, when you like leave a testimonial, like that's the thing that gives me that fuel that makes me want to just keep going. So when like a former student tells me like, Shay, you know, like you changed my life and this changed me, like that's what brings tears to my eyes, because I know that I didn't just help that woman change her life. She's changed her generation, her whole generational line. Her whole life has changed. Her children's life has changed. Her children's children, and oftentimes her mother's life. She sets her mother free, her grandmother free of the pain that they had to coexist in. One of the things that my students would tell you is I'm really big about like, what is the process? Because I want to make sure that every woman that comes to me is attracting love. And thank you, baby. And it is a sign for you to keep going, baby. Whatever you do, don't give up, because your soulmate's waiting for you. And if you have that desire, like how many of you have been feeling your soulmate strong? Like you've been feeling that desire, like I want to meet my soulmate. Not from a place of being desperate, but you've been feeling like this pull towards your soulmate. Like how many of you have been there? I'm going to tell you what that is. How many of you have been feeling that pull to meet your romantic best friend, to meet your soulmate? I'm gonna tell you what that is. And I know like a lot of you guys are booking your calls. If you book your love mapping call, put booked in the chat. Like make sure you put booked in the chat so that I know who we're giving that cheat sheet to for the dating cheat sheet. Okay? The feminine dating cheat sheet. Make sure that you put booked in the chat. Okay. Okay. Now, if you're feeling your soulmate, then this is what it means, okay? One of my gifts, for those of you who are new, don't think I'm crazy, all right? You gonna know that I'm crazy pretty soon. Since I was 5, I became aware that I had a gift of being able to hear people's thoughts, and I can see into people's past, present, and future. And how I do that is I can see people's timeline. So I can see like where your soulmate is on your timeline and what version of you needs to show up in order to be able to meet your soulmate. And this is what I found, that when you start to like crave your soulmate, like when you're like, oh, I need to start taking the steps, I know I need to start doing the work, what that means is that you're coming around the bend. It's what I call coming around the bend. Or I tell my students, like, your train is getting ready to come. You need to get ready so you get on the train. It's kind of like you being at the train station when the train shows up so you can get on the train. That's what I call it. So what's happening is you feel the timeline when you're supposed to meet your soulmate. And the closer you get to that timeline, the more you start to desire him. And the more you're out of alignment with being on that timeline, it's kind of like you needing to be at train station A, but you're at train station C. You're at the wrong train station. So you got to get on the right train station. The further away you are to the right train station, the more uncomfortable you are, the more unhappy you are, the more you'll find yourself like thinking about hoping, wishing to meet your soulmate. And then when the train passes, how you know your soulmate's passed is because then you'll come to that point and then now you're like, oh, I'm good. I'm good. I don't really want him anymore. I'm not really craving him anymore. I'm not really desiring him anymore. And I had that happen with a client where she came to me for like 8 years, right? And I would do the reading, and I don't do this anymore. This is another reason why I don't do readings more than once, because this is not like the psychic fair, or like where you call into Miss Cleo and now I'm going to do psychic readings. That's not how I operate. I use my gift for good to help women to meet their soulmate, not to be some sideshow for you to avoid facing yourself and learn how to trust in your own intuition. But anyway, I had a client who came to me for 8 years, and I saw her soulmate in the first like 2 or 3 years that I did the reading, but I kept seeing her soulmate move out of her timeline. So then on the 3rd year, I was like, baby, listen, you don't have any more time. You need to get on the train. Like, you got to get this work done. Like, I can help you get to your soulmate, but this is the steps that you need to take. You're going to have to choose yourself, and you need to get on the train. And she's like, okay, Shay, I'm coming. I promise I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And she's like, matter of fact, next week, that's when I'm going to get, like, I think her grandmother passed away, and she was going to get, like, the severance or whatever that her grandmother left for her. And sure enough, next week came, she didn't do it. So then she came to me this past year when I did her reading. And y'all, when I did her reading and I looked in her timeline, I couldn't see any of her soulmates, like none at all. And then tears started to come to my eyes, and I looked at her and I said, do you still want to meet your soulmate? And she was like, no, I don't. I'm good. But you could tell that there was a sadness. You could tell it was like she gave up and her soulmate phased out of her timelines. It was like the weirdest thing. And I kept going back and forth. I kept even beating up on myself, like, maybe I should have said this, maybe I should have like convinced her or told her. But literally, by her not choosing herself, by her abandoning herself, she literally phased her soulmate out. This is what I'll tell you. And Uncle Tony, aka Tony Robbins, he taught that whenever you feel like the desire, like a strong desire to take a step. Like for many of you, when I said book your love mapping call, you were like, yes, I know I need to do it. Like you're like, I'm ready to meet my soulmate. I'm ready to take the steps. And then when you was getting ready to do it, then you hesitated and then you changed your mind. Like that's the moment. Like it's a window. It's a window where your subconscious mind or a lower frequency convinces you not to choose yourself so that you can stay on the same path. Because your subconscious mind wants to keep predicting your future. But how does it keep predicting your future? By allowing you to stay in the same pain of the present. And so whenever you ever get that inspiration, always take massive action. Always act in that moment and make a decision that your subconscious mind can't sabotage you to back out of. That's the best advice that I can give you. How do you know it's your intuition? Because it feels like peace when it comes. That's why. You feel it here. You're not feeling it from nervousness. You're not feeling it from fear. You feel it here, and it feels like peace. And if something in you is like, move, don't be like, well, how am I going to do this? Or what am I going to do? Ask all this questions. Well, maybe I'm not ready and all this other stuff. The first one is your intuition. That is your God voice. The second one is your doubts, your insecurities, your love blocks. That's the voices in your head, the mother or the father that wasn't there, or the mother that told you wasn't good enough, or the ideology that you weren't pretty enough, that then comes back around to keep you stuck in your present state. Okay? You think I tapped into my new location and soulmate? Hopefully. The question now is, are you ready? Are you ready to hold space for him? Are you ready to receive him? I know that a few more people are booking their love mapping calls. So I'm going to do like a couple of readings before I jump off. And when you book your love mapping call, make sure that you put booked in the chat. And when you put booked in the chat, that allows my team to be able to write your name down for you to be able to get your feminine dating cheat sheet. You said, do people get more than one soulmate? Everybody has more than one soulmate, but not everybody gets to meet more than one soulmate in a lifetime, if that makes sense. Everybody has more than one soulmate. However, not everybody gets a chance to meet their soulmate or any of their soulmates in their lifetime. Okay. This is what I found. Like I've done readings where I tune in and I tune into you, and then I see your soulmate, like half of their body, but I don't see their face because you're like still in and out where you haven't said yes to your soulmate. And for some of you, you haven't said yes to being able to receive your soulmate because you're scared. You're scared of falling in love and being disappointed, or, you know, can you book if you're in the UK? We have clients all over the world. Yes, baby. Yes, you can. Okay? Yes, you can. So then you sabotage yourself. And then you're back and forth. You're like, well, I'm not really looking. How many people have heard a friend say that? Like, you know, I'm not really looking for anybody. I mean, if it happens, fine, but I'm not really looking for a soulmate. Like, how many of you guys ever heard anybody say that? Like, passive thing, right? You said, I'm the friend. Thank you for your honesty. Yeah. So basically what you're doing is, the truth is that you do want your soulmate. The truth is that your soul knows that you have a soulmate. However, the fears, the love blocks, the doubts have you now. So your soulmate's on the way, and then those doubts, those love blocks, those fears, the insecurities starts to push them away. Whenever you're saying like, well, I'm not really looking for him. That's him coming when you do want it. But then when you basically are rejecting it, you're lying, basically. That's right. Marissa said, that was me. I was lying. Yes, they always are. Okay. They always are. Okay. So let me see how many of you want me to start doing readings so I can see what's going on with you and see what's blocking you while you're booking? How many of you want me to do that? How many of you have already booked? Let me start with you. How many of you have already booked your love mapping call? Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
One of you, you had an ex that proposed to you, and you told him no. You didn't say yes to him, not because you didn't love him, but you said no to his proposal because your parents was the worst example of love in relationships, and you are afraid of having a relationship like that, and so you rejected him, and then you regret it. You haven't been able to forgive yourself for saying no to his proposal, and now he's already moved on with somebody else, and you can't seem to forgive yourself or let go of the fact that you feel like you've let this one go. However, you're supposed to meet your soulmate in October. And I don't know if you're in hiking or something like that, but I'm seeing a waterfall, you hiking or something like that. I don't know if that's what you're supposed to do. Is it tarot reading? Do you send me with any tarot cards? Where am I? Where am I getting the tarot? What? Okay, anyway. So I see you hiking together, maybe you're in fitness or something like that. Maybe that's what you do. But anyway, he is too. He's into fitness. I see you guys taking a trip where you end up going hiking. He's a really, really nice guy, by the way. Amazing. Best type of guy that you've ever been with. Move on from the guy. that you let go of, heal, okay? Clear that. Hey, baby. How are you, Natasha? Clear that so that you don't let the next guy go, okay? All right, so you just asked me, is he cheating on you? Yes, he is. You just asked me that. Where are you at? You just asked, you said, is he cheating on me? Yes, he is. He's cheating on you. And he's cheated on you before. You've known that he's cheated on you before. He said he wasn't going to do it again. And then now you're wondering if he's cheating on you. Yes, he's cheating on you. Alicia, okay, Alicia, this is what's downloading for you, baby. You're trying too hard. You're trying too hard. And you know what it reminds me of, like the vision that I'm getting? It's like pushing a door, trying to open a door while also pulling it closed at the same time. You're trying too hard. There's this fear of not doing enough, not being enough. There's fear that what it is that you want won't show up. So what's coming is that you are the one that's stopping you from being able to receive love, because somewhere in you feel like you're not enough where you are or as you are to be able to attract the kind of love that you want. How does this work? So every one of us, like actually everybody has the gift. However, in my family, it's called having the veil. And what I found out that my grandmother had the gift, my mother has the gift, and I can just, I can tap into different people's frequencies because the information is out there. My pineal gland is just extra active, so I can hear. I can hear what you're thinking. I can just see like your past, what's happened, and I can see into your future because there's no time or space in the universe. Now we're getting into quantum physics, and that can get pretty deep. Alicia, does that resonate with you at all? I had a client last week. I said on the live, I don't know how many of you was on the live last week, but I said the guy that you were with, his name is John or Jonathan, and you're still you're still caught up with John or Jonathan, and that's what's keeping you from your soulmate. And then I told her, like, this is when you're supposed to meet your soulmate, etc. Anyway, I ended up having a session with her last week. And she's enrolled in my own personal, like I'm going to be doing an elite class with only 10 women that starts the end of July. And now she's enrolled in that class. And she was like, Shay, my mouth dropped open when you did that reading. Like, I can't believe like everything that you said was like right on point. So at this point now, I didn't know what it was when I was younger, but I know how to control it now. I allow spirit, God, to move through me, and then give me whatever it is that I need to give to you. One of you are still sleeping with your ex-husband. One of you is sleeping with your ex-husband. What are you doing? You're sleeping with your ex-husband, but he's not really committing. Like, he's not trying to like reconcile the relationship, and it's basically keeping you from being able to attract the relationship that you want. And the crazy thing about it is your ex-husband is having his cake and eating it too, ma'am. Ma'am, just walk away. He's a no. One of you, your mom passed away, I think it was like in December, somewhere around there, and you was like really close to your mom. You're like still mourning your mom, and your mom said that she wants you to have more than what she had. She said that she wished she could have taught you how she, like, you already knew that she worshiped you and she loved you and she thought you was amazing, but she wished she could have taught you how to date, knowing that you really was a gift, and that the man that's for you would be lucky to have you. I believe that she was either married or with a man who treated her less than, and so then that's been the example. But she wants you to have more. She wants to be able to love through you, or experience that love through you. And so she wants you to first, she said, get up, stop crying for her. She's happy and she's at peace. And then second, she wants you to experience the love that she wasn't able to have. Do I use the spirit to help me do readings? Yes. The. Wow, there's a lot going on here. There's you know what it sounds like? Sometimes, like, when it gets like this, it's like a lot of people. You ever been like at a train station or somewhere where there's a lot of people talking at the same time, and then you're like trying to pull out the conversation or the voice? That's what it sounds like right now. And there's like somebody in here that drinks too much, and you drink too much, and then you like make decisions with men that you end up regretting later on, and you've been running away from the memory of what happened to you when you was a little girl, and you think that you're damaged goods, or that the kind of quality man that you really want that would never look at you. However, when I'm looking at your soulmate, like he looks like he's a really sweet guy. He's not your type, like, because the type that you've been attracting are crappy. But he's like really, like, I can see him, like, he wears glasses. I don't know, like the way I can see his hair and everything. But he's like kind of like a geeky, cool guy. And the thing about him is that he's really patient with you. He loves you and he's really patient with you. However, until you heal, baby, you won't be able to see him, and you won't allow him in your world. Baby Masky, you're not damaged. If I took a $1,000 bill and I took it and put it on the ground and stepped on it and then put it in dog dew and then put my butt on it and rubbed it in cow manure, it's still gonna be a $1,000 bill. Just because of what you went through or what anybody says about you does not remove your value. But when you wake up and realize the value that you are, then you're going to finally be seen and claimed as the value that you are. That's what we help women to do all day, every day. To wake up to who they are so that they can be able to hold this space and receive the love that's waiting for them. So, all right, baby, you asked, like, is your love going to come back? And the thing about it is that this is what I'm seeing. That is not your soulmate. You're looking right when your soulmate's coming left. That's not your soulmate. but that was an infatuation that you had with somebody, and he served his purpose, but that's not the person that you're supposed to be with. That's not the person that's going to make you happy long term. But when you really are able to accept and you become your own soulmate, and when you fall in love with you, and there's been too much rejection of you that's been happening. So then because you continue to reject yourself, then you tend to attract people that reject you as well. How do you get rid of their DNA? So the process that I use, like what I do in order to help a woman to get rid of, to clear her DNA of a man who she has sex with that's still encoded in her DNA, is I help her to rewrite her DNA. So like I literally created a whole program to do that. And there's like a meditation and there's like a process. So first thing you have to do is you have to cut the cord subconsciously, and then you have to cut the cord spiritually, and then you have to break the spiritual contract, and you can encode your own DNA. Like there's things that you can do to encode your own DNA, and it's not enough. Like for when I do videos, when I tell women that the men that you're sleeping with, they're like biochemically imprinting off of you, and people are like, no, they're not. Like they don't stay in your body only when you're pregnant. But no, there's been research to show that he's actually uploading his code into your DNA, and that it can stay there for life. So there are women who are upregulating autoimmune disease. It's changing the way they crave certain foods, or is craving the way their sense of smell or vision, etc., based on the men that they're sleeping with. And you can literally break that, clear that, heal that. But it's a process in order to do that. And a lot of women, they recommend like doing like the noni cleanse or going to a healer. And the reason why I don't tell you specifically on the live, like, hey, go do this or go do that, is because you can do that and it will feel great. However, you won't be energetically aligned to hold space for the frequency of healing and clearing that genetic connection that you have with your ex. Do you know what I'm saying? So you're just going to reattach. You're just going to still feel the soul tie to him. The soul contract won't be broken. In order for you to break a soul tie or a soul contract, you have to elevate out of the vibrational frequency. You got to elevate higher than where you were when you made the contract to begin with. And if you are still holding on to the same traumas, the same belief systems, the same energetic patterns, and those energetic imprints or patterns can be generational, then you're not going to let go of that soul tie, no matter how much you pray or noni juice it or go to healers or Reiki it or any of that stuff. I had to learn this the hard way. So then I learned how to help women to be able to change the frequency that they vibrate on, so that they are no longer vibrating with that ex anymore. So that when they go in to clear that soul contract, when they're going in to cut that soul cord and they're rewriting their DNA, then that's it. They don't have to keep doing it again. They do the process. And here's the thing, Miss Paris, she said prayer actually works. Prayer it's kind of like when you order at a restaurant, right? Like you got to first say what your order is. You got to first speak it. But prayer means nothing if the energetic frequency you're saying the prayer in aligns with the pain. If your prayer, your words coming out your mouth is, God, help me to let go of this ex who like mistreated me, who broke my heart, etc. However, your alignment of expectation is to be mistreated the way that ex mistreated you. If the pain of your past aligns with the frequency of that ex, then all the prayer in the world is not going to have you elevated. Actually, you're praying the prayer to further encode that soul cord. If you're able to break a soul cord, that means that you're able to elevate energetically and in consciousness. And in order for you to be able to break a soul tie and rewrite your DNA and break a soul contract, and those are three different things. And what I created is so you can be able to break all three at the same time. In order for you to be able to do that, then you also have to rewire your subconscious mind. Like you have to subconsciously make it so that you don't want him anymore. Like you give yourself permission, and you'll be surprised how many people say, yeah, I want to be able to disconnect and I want to be able to let go of this soul tie, but subconsciously you don't. Subconsciously you don't. How much does that make sense? To how many of you does that make sense? Because I can explain it a different way if it doesn't. We get into the weeds with this, but does that make sense to you? Say aye if that makes sense to you. So this is what I say, like, I'm also, I can do Reiki, I do healing, like there's so many different things that I have the ability to do. And when somebody comes to me, like for healing, I had a client one time who I adored. I adored this client, and the client ended up getting cancer. And so like the one time that I would do like healings and stuff on her, she would leave, she would feel better, and then she would go into the family dynamics where there was like a lot of fighting and a lot of dissonance, and like her insecurities and stuff were still there. And then like the pain would come back and the stuff would come back, and she never really completely healed. And the reason why, it's kind of like with Reiki, it's like you doing a mud run, going and taking a shower, washing all the mud off, and then stepping right out the shower back into the mud. If the environment you're going into, and the environment, I'm not talking about outside of you, the environment here, the environment in your energetic and auric field, if that environment resonates with the pain and the mindset and the belief system that caused the dis-ease, or that caused the dysfunctional relationships, or that caused the lack, then baby, I promise you, you can go to all the Reiki masters, you can do all the healing, all the noni bath juicing, you can do whatever it is, all the praying, but then it's not going to go away. It's going to stay. And this is the thing that I teach a lot of like psychologists and psychiatrists. I teach a lot of women that's in the mental health industry. I would love to be able to teach them my method for being able to help women who've experienced sexual trauma, women who have struggled in relationships and attracting healthy relationships, because they're missing a major element. If you're working with a client and your work with that client is purely conscious, and you're not working on rewiring their subconscious mind, then it's ineffective to the client long term. And for a lot of my ladies that are in the mental health industry, you know that you'll have a client, you do all this work for her, she seems like she's improving, and then she goes right back. And that's because this hasn't been transformed. Her nervous system hasn't been rewritten and re-regulated. And if you don't do that, then you're going to go back to the old patterns. So all incorporated in my university, I had to invent a method, because when I was doing it, there was nobody else that was able to do that for me. So I had to combine multiple methods like EMDR, hypnotherapies, the NLP, RTT. Like I combined and invented my own method for helping a woman to be able to rewire her subconscious mind and her nervous system, so that she can, when she heals permanently. The number one thing that I can tell you transparently that I find that women do is they stop the journey too soon. It's kind of like if you're baking a cake and you take the cake out too soon, before the cake has completely finished baking, put it in the chat what's going to happen. And then I'm gonna end soon. If you pull a cake out the oven too soon, what's gonna happen? Somebody put it in the chat. What's gonna happen? Hello? Facebook, I so wish I could read your comments. It doesn't come up. I don't know why it's not coming up on the screen. But next week I'm gonna make sure I can see it. That cake is going to drop. If you pull it out the oven too soon, baby, it's not going to overcook. It's going to drop. You know how the old folks would say, stop running around in the kitchen before you make my cake drop? And that's what I find that a lot of women do. So I basically invented the love success journey, right? And in the love success journey, there are 7 stages to a woman transforming into being able to have that agape highest level love after doing like 20 years of research in it. And so I can help a woman just by the characteristics, help her determine if she's in stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4, stage 5. And then like I had to hire like science analysts and to create like a formula, an algorithm to be able to help a woman determine like what stage is she in, so that she understands like where she's at based on a series of questions, so she can move through these stages predictably to determine the quality of the relationship that she'll be able to attract. So she's in stage 1. Her relationship readiness means that she's like at 90% that the relationship is more likely to fail, right? So if a woman gets married when she's in stage 1, then she's guaranteed she's going to get a divorce, okay? It's less than 10% the relationship's going to work. If she's in stage 2, then it drops down to 80% failure rate, 20% success rate. Stage 3, then it drops down to 50%. And then in stage 4, it drops down to 25%, right? So then the more she goes up the stages, the more likely that her relationship is going to be successful. And as she goes up the stages, then she's clearing the blood blocks. She's increasing the feminine energy. She's going to start to find that the quality of the man that she's attracting improves and is predictable. Like this is like clockwork. So what I find is when a woman usually gets around stage 3, that's when she gets super confident or cocky, or she gets complacent. I'm sorry, she gets cocky or complacent. What does that mean? Complacent means that she's like, you know what, I'm good. I don't even need to be in a relationship. Like she kind of like forgets that her original goal was to meet her soulmate. And then she gets complacent in just feeling, you know, like she's not feeling the pain that she was feeling or the discomfort she was feeling before. So she doesn't have the motivation anymore to continue on the journey, right? And or she gets cocky. She's like, oh, I'm good. I'm gonna start dating. And then she goes out and she dates. And then she like 50-50 quality men that's showing up, or 50% like low quality. So then when she like meets the low quality men, then she starts getting discouraged and she thinks that all of her work didn't really do anything. The sweet spot is stage 4. And that's why in my program, you're not dating until you get to stage 4, because in stage 4, that's when like the successful men are gonna show up. The successful men with character, the men that are in their masculine energy. That's when your more abundance is gonna show up. That's when your improvement in your relationship with your kids or with your parents or friendships, that's when that improves up. That's when you start to feel like an inner peace with no relationship. You're just happy and you become a magnet. That's usually when you no longer need to abide by rules, but you always follow the rules naturally because you're going to move a certain way. Your level of confidence, thank you. That always looks like a penis to me, but thank you so much. I so appreciate you for giving that. But you're going to move a certain kind of way. And so usually when a woman's like in stage 4, stage 5, I can predict when she's gonna meet her soulmate, like down to like 3 months. It's easy, like you can see it on her. Like her aura looks different. The look in her eyes looks different. It does look like a peanut, don't it? Like the look in her eyes looks different. Like it's just like obvious signs where you can predict, and she feels it. Like she can feel her soulmate. She starts to hear her soulmate, and then sure enough, like within 3 months, she ends up meeting her soulmate. And it's no longer up to chance. It's predictable. You said, I'm not sure what I feel, sometimes numb and sometimes happy. It's in and out. That's because you're in stage 1. You can even be at stage 0. And when you're at that stage, it is literally dangerous for you to date when you're at that stage. It's dangerous. Anyway, if you want my help, if you want to be able to have better, if you want to be able to feel better, if you want to have more abundance, if you want to have more happiness, if you want to meet your soulmate, then all you have to do is go to lovemappingcall.com. And for only those of you who are on the live, I'm doing a special where you can book for only $49. And I'm going to give you the feminine dating cheat sheet that I only give to my students. So then now you will know exactly what date to go on. Go on the coffee date first, then the fun date second, and then the dinner date first. And then you're going to know exactly what questions to ask on each one of the dates. Like, what are the signs? What are you looking for? Okay. When you're having a phone conversation, what should you ask him to see if you should move to the next date? Some of you guys are going on dates with a man that showed clear signs he was a Build-A-Bear. Okay. You're going on dates with men that's showing you that he's highly in his feminine energy. He's not the kind of man that wants to pour into you. He's not in his prince. You know, earlier I was teaching you about a man's different phases and how he's either in the knight stage, the prince phase, or the king phase. And so you will see if he's in that phase, and you'll have a cheat sheet to be able to determine that. So you're going to be able to get that. You'll be able to get that when you book your love mapping call. And I'm going to leave you with this. Go to lovemappingcall.com. Okay. It's 2 P's. I don't know what's going on. YouTube. Am I flashing to y'all? This is super weird. YouTube is doing something weird. It's lovemappingcall.com. So if you go to lovemappingcall.com, then that's when you can book your love mapping call. I'm going to leave you with this. I leave this at the end of all of my lives. I love all of you guys. Thank you so much for tuning into my lives. Thank you for liking my videos, for trusting me. Thank you for just all y'all support. Okay. Cause I know, positivity isn't always popular. It's the drama, it's the negativity that usually goes viral, and that's usually popular. So thank you. When you like that video, you give another woman a chance to see a video that can change her life. And I appreciate you for that. And I thank you. And if you know nothing else from me, know this. Baby, I don't care what any Build-A-Bear with the podcast says to you. I don't care how your ex treated you. I don't care what happened to you in the past. You are the prize. And when you finally wake up to that fact, then you will become a magnet to a man that rises up to claim you as the prize you've always been. I love you. I promise you. God bless you. And good night. I look forward to seeing you on the inside. Bye, divas. Have a good night. Look, I don't know what's happening on YouTube, but it's doing something weird, my love.